Welcome to Tabletop Gaming with Juice. Today I'm going to be creating my character for Dawnforged Cast's Elemental Evil one-shot that he is running in the Tabletop RPG one-shot group. Now, the rules for it are fairly simple. Everybody is third level. We will be using 27 point buy. We're starting with 750 gold worth of gear and supplies, and there's some leeway with some magic items. So because we have to choose one of the classes from the Elemental Evil Player's Companion, which is free on the Wizards of the Coast website, I chose a Goliath. It just seems to me like the class, or the race that I would enjoy playing the most. So with that said, let's jump into this. So you're basically going to just see my character sheet this whole time while I do this. This isn't really a tutorial, but you can come along with me as I do this. Now, I will create him as a first level character first. And once I do that, I'm going to save it so that I can use this for players at encounters. And then I will up him to third level and do all of that. So for my class, I'm going to choose just a basic run-of-the-mill fighter, I believe. And that's just because that's my preferred class. I just think it's more fun. So, yeah, and I'm going to go champion because, again, this is going to be something for anybody to use in D&D encounters that I run. So, we're going to go fighter, level 1, race, Goliath. I don't know about a background yet. Player name, I'll leave blank for now. Now, because it's 27 point buy, I'm going to use the array sheet that I have. I have an array sheet that's the 65 unique combos for 27 point buy. It's up in the one-shot group if you want to go download it under files. Now, because I'm a fighter, I'm not going to try and really min-max this character. I'm probably going to come up with 2 good stats, and the rest, I don't know. I don't really know. Let's go with, let's see, 15, 14, 14, 10, 10, and 8. So 15 is going to be strength. Constitution will be 15. Right? Or no, 14. And then I got to choose something else to be 14. So I'm going to actually make it charisma. Let's make this guy pretty charismatic. And then the rest will go Dex 10. Because, I mean, he's a big guy. He's a Goliath. So I didn't feel like he should really have that good of a dexterity. Wisdom 10. And his intelligence will be 8. Okay. So for those mods, that is -1 intelligence, 0. That's +2. Yeah. Just a moment. Can I help you, honey? What do you need? Why don't you go downstairs, and then I'll play with you in a second. Here. Love you. All right, sorry. So charisma is a +2. Constitution is a +2. I believe a 15 is +2 also. Yeah. +2, and a dexterity is a 0. All right. Now, it says here for Goliath, your strength score increases by 2 and your constitution score by 1. So that means his strength will be 17 and his constitution will be 15. So this will go up to +3, and 15 is a +2 still. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. That is how he is set up. Now, Goliaths have lifespans comparable to humans. They're usually lawful, so let's go with lawful neutral. He's huge. Speed is 30 feet. He's a natural athlete, so he automatically gets athletics proficiency. And Stone's Endurance. So over here, I'm going to put Stone's Endurance. Focus yourself to occasionally shrug off injury. You take damage. You can use your reaction to roll a d12 con mod. Oh, whoops. d12. Add con to the number. So this ability is really, really nice. You can reduce the damage. So if something crits you, that's huge. This trait. Can't use it again until you take a short or long rest. There. All right, powerful build is a good one. Powerful build. Oh, whoops. Sometimes that happens. Okay. Under powerful build, you count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity. And the weight you can push, drag, or lift. Homeborn. Acclimated. High altitude, including elevations above 20,000 feet. You're also naturally adapted to cold climates, as described in cold climates. There, I'll just leave that. And then he can speak common and giant. So down here, under here, speaks. Speak, read, and write common, giant. There. All right, so that's everything from the race. So some things to keep in mind. Normally, Goliaths don't travel away from their tribe. So for me, I think it would make the most sense if my character traveled away from his tribe because he reached old age and they felt he was more of a detriment to them. So I think maybe he's an older Goliath that has left his tribe, maybe. I'm not really sure. I'm going to talk to another player who's going to play Goliath and see what his reasoning is for leaving the tribe. So there's that. Now let's go to the fighter and get to the meat of the character. All right. Under fighters, you get 1d12 or 1d10, I'm sorry, for hit points. Automatically max at first level. So 10. It's really 12 because of con mod. And let's see. Next. Armor, all armor and shields. Proficient with all armor and shields. All simple and martial weapons. And then his saving throws are strength and constitution, which is perfect for Goliath. He's built to be a fighter. Okay. D10. All right, now for skills, choose 2 of the following. You can choose from acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, which I already have, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival. So I'm actually going to go with intimidation as one of them. And I think survival is probably a pretty good one. I think that would be... Right? Should I do it? Could go with perception, though. They're both wisdom-based. Perception or survival? We'll go with survival. All right. The idea that he could survive on his own is appealing to me, I think. So with that, athletics is, I believe, a +3. Yeah, so he's a +5 there. Intimidation is a +4. And survival is a +2. Okay. So I don't know if I want to worry about the money thing. So I might just do quick selection of equipment and maybe just swap out a weapon. I'm not real worried about money. Well, no, I'll come back to equipment in a little bit. Well, no, I'm going to do it now. Let's just do it. Let's go with chainmail. Martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons. I could go with 2 martial weapons. Doesn't say they have to be the same. And I will do 2 hand axes. So, hand axe. What do I want for weapons? Let's go with a long sword. And let's go with a great axe. I've never used a character that had a great axe. Let's do that. I know this is D8/D10. Oh, damage bonus will be a +3. Great. So great axe is 1d12 +3 // and x is 1d6 +3. Attack bonus will be +5 +5 +5, right? Yeah. Okay. So there. And then down here, long sword used single as 1d8, or two-handed 1d10. For the sword, a great axe, and a hand axe. I like that. I think that'll work out pretty well. So in other words, I could dual wield. I could always go longsword, hand axe. Or I can just rock the great axe, which is probably what I'll do most of the time. Now, I could do a few different things here. I could go with 2-weapon fighting. You can add your ability mod to the damage of the second attack, which is nice. I could go defense. While you are wearing armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC. And I think I'm going to go with that. So let's go with the defense perk. Fighting style defense. While you are wearing armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC. And second wind. Wait, do I get the fighting style yet? When do you get fighting style? First level. Okay, and you get second wind at first level. Okay. Second wind. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain HP equal to 1d10 plus fighter level. And use this feature. You must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. So this is a cool one. Mix that with the endurance, and now you have quite a bit of hit points you can soak because of those two things. So I love those. I think this guy will be really cool because of it. So let's see. Great axe. Long sword. Okay. Now what else is he going to have? So that was my two martial weapons, was a longsword and great axe. We would go with a explorer's pack. So you don't choose an actual archetype until third level. So I'll come back to that. But let's go to equipment, just so I can write some things down. Got to give him a trinket too. So love the trinkets in 5th edition. They're fantastic. They give me so many cool ideas. All right, so I gave him an explorer's pack. So the explorer's pack contains backpack. You know what? I'm not even going to say explorer's pack. I'm going to get rid of this and just put the individual items down. So backpack, bedroll, mess kit, tinder box, 10 torches, 10 days rations, water skin, and 50-foot hempen rope. All right, there. And then trinket. I'm just going to pick something. So he's a Goliath, so it's got to be thematic. Let's see, what would be a good trinket? Hmm. A knife that belonged to a relative might be cool. Yeah, I don't know what else I would do. So let's just go with knife belonged to relative. And we'll make it a 1d4 dagger. Right, there we go. Or 1d4 damage. It's not. I'm not going to call it a dagger. They shouldn't be throwing a knife that belonged to a relative. So there. That's what we're going to do for him. Now, let's come up with his background. Proficiency at first level is +2. Let's see. So that'll make this +5. 0. Constitution +4. Intelligence -1. Wisdom 0 and +2. Right. Yeah. Okay. Acrobatics. 0. Intelligence is -1. Charisma +2. Excuse me. History. Intelligence -1. Insight. Zero. Investigation -1. Wisdom 0. Intelligence -1. 0. Charisma +2. Persuasion +2. Religion -1. 0 for Dex. All right. And then perception is 10. It's not very perceptive right now. So all that stuff can go up based on his background, but I just wanted to get it filled in. So now let's go to his background, figure out exactly what it should be. Sorry, I know my character creation videos like this are a little long-winded because I don't edit them. I just do them over Hangouts. So you're basically going through it as I do this. So I appreciate you sticking with this to check it out, though. Yeah, make sure you go over and download the Elemental Evil Player's Companion. There's some cool things in there. So for my guy who's a fighter, let's see. I mean, it'd be simple to go Outlander. I'm not going to go Sailor. I mean, it'd be really simple to go Soldier as well. But, yeah, let's see. I don't know. It's really hard for me to decide. I could go folk hero. That would be cool, right? Let's see. Yeah, let's go folk hero. It'll be interesting, I think. So maybe among his people, he was regarded as their champion. Yeah, and then that gives him animal handling. And survival, which I already have. So instead of survival, before we would have went with perception, so I'll do that. Bump that to +2. This now goes up to 12. Okay. So there, folk hero. Artisans, tools, and vehicles land. Well, he's a Goliath, so I'm not going to give him a proficiency with a land vehicle. So I'm going to skip that. For artisans, tools, he can... Let's see. I don't even know what they are off the top of my head. I probably should. I'm thinking like carving or whittling. I don't know if that's an option. But maybe he can carve or whittle things. Equipment packs. Wood carver's tools. There we go. I think that would make the most sense to me. Or carpenter's tools might be cool. Then it can actually make like chairs and stuff and houses. Yeah. Let's go with carpenter's tools. There. And it doesn't cost much, so I'll put it over here as well. Carpenter's tools. Probably a hammer, a small hand axe, or handsaw, because he can use his hand axe to chop trees down if he needs to. Or whatever. Yeah, so that works. I like it. Okay, so now, under folk hero, Get a shovel, iron pot, common clothes, and belt pouch. Yeah, I'm not worried about all that. Defining event. Stood alone against a terrible monster. So I'm just going to put that under personality traits. And then also from Folk Hero, he will get rustic hospitality, which I don't know if that will actually help him. Since you come from the ranks of the common folk, you fit in among them with ease, except not really. Find a place to hide, rest, or recuperate among other commoners, unless you have shown yourself to be a danger to them. It will shield you from the law or anyone else searching for you, though they will risk their lives for you. Okay, so basically I'm just going to treat this like, because I can relate to them verbally, I can convince commoners to let me stay to protect me, instead of because I can fit in, because I don't really fit in. I'm a freaking Goliath. So that'd be really surprising. Personality trait. Let's go with I judge people by their actions, not their words. Words. All right. Now for ideal. Sincerity. There's no good in pretending to be something I'm not. All right. Bonds. Oh, here's a good one. My tools are symbols. Spell symbols correctly. Symbols of my past life, and I carry them so that I will never forget my roots. I like that. And then flaws. People who knew me when I was young know my shameful secrets, so I can never go home again. I'm convinced of the significance of my destiny. I'm blind to my shortcomings and the risk of failure. Okay, so there we go. I'm convinced of the significance of my destiny and blind to my shortcomings and the risk of failure. And then, yeah, I'll just leave that like that. That works. Okay. So there he is. This is my first level character. Now, his initiative is 0. He does not get any bonuses. And I think he is good to go. So I'm going to print him out and save him for encounters. So let's go save as Goliath Fighter. Goliath Fighter 1, 5E, Adventures League. I think I keep my characters there. Yeah, there we go. He's a fighter. I just call him Goliath Fighter. There. And I am going to print him off for encounters tonight in case somebody shows up and doesn't have a character and really wants one. Because I'm not going to spend the session creating characters tonight. I did that last week with everybody. So I will print that. And then we will level him up to level 3 as a fighter for Dawnforged cast game. Dawnforged's game. That's really hard to say. So I do know he's going to be a champion, and I will probably, I don't know. I just think it's the simplest thing to do, and it'll allow me not to get caught up in the mechanics of things. So I can basically play him how I think he should be played and not have to worry too much about, like I said, the mechanics. That's, I think, how I tend to prefer to play. I don't want to fudge with mechanics and have to look things up in the middle of a game. I like it fairly simple. So that's why I don't play wizards a lot, and I don't play clerics a lot. Obviously, I'm playing a cleric for the Provokers game. But yeah. So, all right. There we go. So that is ready. So now let's level him up. Let's level this bad boy up. You know what? We will level him up next time. Let's make that its own video. So if you like this, give me a like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, and I will level him up in a future video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.